Hey there, it is Tom Sterry on the behalf of Indestructible Productions with another Throwback Baritone episode. And, yeah. So here we are, watching myself cut the body out of the blank. And here you will see exactly how much wood I'm wasting by cutting away that middle section. Completely pointless, this whole process. How foolish of me. But, you know, I guess it's just more now, from now on I know how to do it better. It completely defeating the purpose because I've drawn my center line there, so now I'm cutting away the portion that has my center line, but it doesn't really matter seeing as these are wings anyways. Just a lot of things I would have done differently with this build now if I were to do it. But I guess, you know, 'tis how we learn. Yeah, so that was still, I think it said May 31st, 2014, so yeah, two years ago. A little bit over 2 years ago. Man. How the time flies, huh? So it's going to be interesting when I do another neck through instrument and see how the processes differ. It's going to be very interesting to kind of like compare and contrast between the two video series, I believe, at least. So let's see how that works out when I do that in the future, because I will do that in the future. So now that I have cut the wings, of course I need to plane down both edges to prepare them for gluing. And they need to be nice and square, so I'm holding them up against the fence of the planer and running them over the planer. And then moving on. Basically, I've had issues before, and covering up with my hand so you can't see what I'm doing. I've had issues before where I glue in the wings onto the neck, and during the gluing process the wings move, which then screws everything up. So to counteract that, I measure where I want to put some dowels to kind of just help hold it all together. I just, being a furniture maker, this was, or being taught furniture making and stuff, this was of course the most logical way of approaching it. And to be honest, it works. I mean, it's only a small, who says you couldn't use dowels? They're inside the wood, they just, the only thing they do is add stability, really, in gluing. You hardly ever notice they were there. Hell, if you're worried about me using, I'm pointing at the screen now, but you can see the dowel there, in the corner. If you're worried about using dowels like that in your guitar, just make some dowels out of the same body wood that you're using. And, it's really no difference then on how you're constructing it. Because I've heard some people is like, oh, you shouldn't put dowels on guitars. So there, just, for instance, I could just use birch, which I am, because those dowels that I'm using are made from birch. So it's not making any difference to tone and stuff like that, which other people have said that it should, which doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, moving on from this whole digression here. Cutting out the cutaways roughly with a bandsaw, just because this will be incredibly hard for me to do after I've glued the neck in, so I might as well just get it over and done with at this point. Bad thing about this bandsaw that I'm using right now, fairly wide blade, and this bandsaw in particular just doesn't like corners at all, so I had to do it in this method, thus creating lots of wood waste, which I'm throwing away right now. There's a little box right behind the bandsaw for all the wood waste, which is completely full all the time. Yeah, just, I guess, another one of those things that I would do very differently nowadays in comparison. Not that I'm doing it wrong by any means, but I would do it differently. Hell, I have access to a better bandsaw now, so that does make a fairly big difference. didn't have access. This was the better one of the two bandsaws that we had in school. The other one had an even wider blade, which you actually saw. I think, yeah, you saw that earlier in the series when I was cutting the top. And there we go. The final blade is cut. Now, skipping ahead, well, not skipping ahead. Next process is gluing the neck onto the body, of course. So spread the glue, put in the dowels, and join. Voila. No slippage. Everything is exactly where I want it to be. This means that I can really be very sure that everything's getting constructed in the right way and nothing's slipping, nothing's moving, all the angles stay the way they're supposed to, and stuff like that. To be honest, I probably would have nowadays done the truss rod channel and the fretboard already at this point, just to make things easier, but I was way too excited, so I just went ahead and put it all together now. Oh well. Yeah, and really no need to use clamping calls either at this point because, well, everything still has a rough block, so I'm not really damaging the guitar's body at all because all this stuff that I'm clamping onto is going to get cut away anyways. This time I was prepared. I had all my clamps ready before I started gluing. Last time that really was not the case. But hey, I am reaching the end of this video, so hit that like button, comment down below if you have anything to comment on, hit that subscribe button as well, and let me know what you think of this Throwback Baritone series. This series will come out every second week, and all those other every second weeks, you will have an after hours video. So yeah, see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye. You know I've had my share. En kyllä muista yhtään mitä sieltä tuli.